Dobro Veche, Divine Pisces 222. It is Monday, September 14th, 2020. I'm going to do a union update for today. I stated on my morning message today that I know I mentioned I got a job, right? Well, I had another opportunity kind of land in my lap on Thursday, and it has progressed. I've already had 2 interviews, and I should be scheduling a third here very soon. So, yeah, it's amazing what happens when you change your energy, guys. When things like, when you just surrender and you let go and say, okay, well, take me where I need to go, it's like things just kind of fall in your lap. But that being said, I do feel a lot of us are going to be faced with some decisions here, possibly some very big, life-altering kinds of decisions, okay? Best thing to do here is really just to listen to yourself and to see, what your higher self's advice is. That's really the best way to go. But also, that being said, I have to let you guys know that I may take a couple of weeks off from YouTube to get my stuff together, because I have to, move, so I have to pack, I have to get situated, and when starting a new job, it's always difficult, and my hours are going to be hectic. I'm not going to lie, guys. My hours are going to be very hectic for a little while, so I may have to redo like my drop schedule, stuff like that. So I'll try to keep you guys in the loop as much as possible. I mean, even if I can't do a video, I can at least try to do the picture ones, the union updates that way, clear. So that way you guys are at least getting, some guidance. I also need to get my program finished for you guys that I've been wanting to get done, and I'm hoping to be able to still get that out by 11/11, okay? And in that, I'm going to be discussing a lot more in-depth about healing and things like that. I feel like that's kind of something that's been not touched on as much as it should be, specifically with the integration of timelines, past lives, disassociated subpersonalities and things like that. So I'm really excited to start working on that for you guys, but there's just a lot going on in my personal life right now. So I'm going to try do as I tell you guys to do, and just take it one day at a time, take it one step at a time, and just kind of go and do as much as I can. And, I want to be able to provide guidance, but I also need to make sure I'm taking care of my stuff. So, clear. That being said, also, if you do schedule a personal service, like a reading or something like that, please expect the turnaround time to be a little bit longer than usual, and I do apologize for that. It's just circumstances beyond my control right now. So, but I appreciate everybody's patience and everybody's support. Also, just as a reminder, there is still the giveaway going on right now, the Save the Forum giveaway. We are almost at $300 right now. That's awesome, guys. Just let's keep going. I would love to see if we can get to 600. That would allow me to renew the website for 2 years as opposed to 1. Clear. And remember that for any donation of at least $5.55, you get 1 entry. So if you donate more than that, it would be whatever the multiple of that is. So if you donate $11.11, you get 2 entries. Or if you purchase something from the website, any sort of service, you would get whatever the equivalent of that dollar amount, okay, would be. And it's going through October 15th. That is the deadline for the contest. I have to renew by the end of October, so I feel like that's a good way to do. And basically you'll go into a drawing to win one of 3 prizes: in-depth reading, a 30-minute coaching session, or a mini reading, 1 of 3. Okay, I'll have 3 drawings, and then if I can make it, I know I said 300, but I would like to get to 600 if possible. 300, I'll give away something, but 600, I'll give away something else. So if we can make it to 600, I'll give away 2 grand prizes, okay? I'm still not quite sure what those will be, but trust me, I'll make them worth it, okay? So I appreciate everybody's help with that. Clear. And I thank you so much, everybody who has already donated. It's awesome. And I'm just so glad to be able to provide a safe space for you guys to be able to go and talk to people who are going through the same things, and to actually have a sense of community. Okay, there's a lot of people that use the forum, and I'm really, really glad that it's actually being utilized the way that it should be. So thank you guys so much for your support there. As far as the energies go, I mean, I really just feel like, okay, so, you know, we had the 9/9 portal, and, you know, I've been saying this for a while. There's something's happening. Something's going to happen in October, right? There's going to be some sort of culmination, and I feel it really has to do with ending of cycles. And I talked about it again this morning on my morning message about, and I know I've touched on this before, so I got the hiccups. But, like, how not everybody in this lifetime is of the same soul age. Okay, we all go through different stages of soul development. Okay, so not everybody who is in this lifetime is the same soul age. Not everybody's an old soul, not everybody's a young soul. We have young souls, old souls, and everything in between. Okay, so I don't understand why people are like, why do you think you're better than everybody? No, that's not it at all. It's just I've been probably reincarnated a heck of a lot more than some people have, and that's okay. It's not good or bad. It just is, right? Clear. And I do feel that some of us, you know, we go into our quote-unquote final incarnation intending for it to be the final incarnation, but something happens and we end up having to basically redo, okay? And I do feel that's happened to me a couple of times, okay? I don't want to do it again, okay? So I feel like some of us are repeating, you know, over and over again our final incarnations because of that. It's like something happened in the previous lifetime where we were unable to complete what we were supposed to complete. And it's like each time you reincarnate, not only do you have to, it gets harder because you have to clear that lifetime's worth of karma and whatever it was that was unfinished there, but then you also have to complete whatever it needs to be completed as well. Does it make sense? So it's like it keeps building up. So I'm also going to be talking about that and how to integrate all of that with this program that I'm working on as well. And I'm really excited about it. But I do feel just in general, a lot of us are just, those of us who are in our final incarnations, you know, whatever, however many times you've done that. This is like, I feel like between like 9/9 and 10/10, it's like a flush. We're literally just flushing out a lot of karma, possibly in the connections, but just in general, just flushing out a lot of karma. And so ending a lot of cycles in general. So that we can step into what our final purpose actually is. And keep in mind that your mission does shift. Your mission changes. You know, it's like you have your mission is something for a certain amount of time, and then it shifts. And I have found that, you know, those who keep in that little box, who stay in that little box because it's benefiting them somehow, you're an ego, where a lot of times, you know, you end up disappearing because you're not moving with your mission. You're not actually evolving with your mission, right? All right, so that being said, I mean, I feel like just it's mostly at this point I feel a lot of mainly clearing karma with parental figures. That is coming up very strongly here as of late. But also expectations and learning to forgive with expectations that were placed on you, not just by parents, but by societal expectations, programming, so to speak. I feel like a lot of us are really bucking against our programming, and we're starting to realize just how much we've been programmed over our lifetime, and possibly multiple lifetimes, okay? And that's, you know, that's terrifying when you think about it, just how much you've been controlled. Just since you were a kid. Like, just watch TV. I went back and actually watched some of these old commercials from like the 1980s and, you know, 90s and stuff like that, and even 70s, and like just in general, like the gender role programming, incredible. Like the Barbie commercials, you know, or the baby doll commercials and stuff like that, and you know, all like, oh yeah, you know, girls are supposed to be this way, and they're supposed to be nurturers, and I mean, which isn't, you know, necessarily wrong. You know, the feminine energy is the nurturing energy, it's the receiving energy, right? But the fact that we're programming these little girls to believe that they have to be a certain way in order to be accepted by society, in order to be wanted by you know, someone of the opposite sex, they have to be a certain way, when that's not necessarily true and clear. We're leaving out the whole substance of who you actually are and focusing on your role in the 3D, right? So it's, and I'm sitting here going, it blew my mind. Like, it blew my mind. I was watching with KOC, and he was just like, wow. I was like, yeah, okay. I mean, boom, there it is, right there in your face. And when you go back and watch some of that stuff now, through after your awakening, you're sitting here going, how long have I been being programmed by just watching television? That's why I don't watch TV anymore. I don't watch TV. I don't. I haven't had a TV service in probably about 10 years. Yep. Anyways, so that's, and actually I actually hit this huge epiphany too. Talking about the balance between the masculine and the feminine is actually the exact same as talking about the balance between ego and intuition. It's a constant give and take. It's a constant pull with these two polarities, right? So if you think about the masculine energy as the ego and the feminine energy as the intuition, you have to have an equal balance of both. You can't have just all intuition or all ego. You know, it just clashes, right? You have to have an equal balance of both. And I have noticed specifically with the feminine energy, when you're in your priestess power and you're in your feminine power and you're in your goddess energy, whatever you want to call it, you're doing you, right? That's when the masculine energy comes in. It's like the masculine energy is drawn to that. What do they want to do? What do they want to do? They want to control it, right? And so the feminine energy is kind of doing her thing, and masculine energy is like, yes, control, control, control. And so it's like push, 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 and then there's push, 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 right? And so you have to find that equal balance of both. And that just kind of blew my mind when I came up with that. I was just like, what? You know, complete download. So just keep in mind, guys, that there has to be an equal balance. Like right now, you know, you might be going through ego death, but you can't lose your ego completely. It's learning about how to put it in its place and use it when it's necessary. Same with the intuition, okay? Knowing when to use each one. Okay, and right now with the masculine energy in general, I just feel like a lot of them are just like, they're fighting the influx of the intuition. They're fighting some of these downloads because it's all about control, right? That's what ego is. It's all about control, right? So when you think about it that way, and the masculine energy losing their crap because they're losing control, that's exactly it. That's all it is them losing control, so they're freaking out, okay? And the reverse of that in the feminine, you know, is being too much in your, you know, and you're losing, you know, you're losing track of time. You're not getting things done. You're not paying your bills. You know, this is a 3D world. You still have to have the 3D somewhere, right? And I feel like with this final karmic push, this is basically what it's designing. It's designed to do. I can't talk today. See. Designed to do is to basically flush us out of this whole control mode, but both ways. Do you see? Okay, so feminine energy, visions of life beyond death. Yeah, okay, so this is interesting because I really do feel some of you are getting some past life downloads mainly. Like some of you are getting some timeline shifts maybe. And I'm going to figure out how to explain this to you guys in a little bit more detail to where you'll understand, because it makes sense in my brain, but when I try to say it out loud, it comes out abstract, and I want to make sure you guys understand what I mean about the timelines, okay? But in general, I feel like some of you guys are getting clarity on what your higher path actually is right now, and it's not what you thought it was. And some of you, it's like the past life stuff is coming in, and that's what's helping you to see clearly. Right? Does that make sense? Yeah. Because some of you had just been too much like, what do I do? What do I do? Sitting here literally weighing your options. But that's not what you're supposed to do. You're not supposed to weigh your options. Okay? You're supposed to listen to your intuition. You're not supposed to be like pros and cons, pros and cons. That's not how this works. That's not how this works. But you also have to remember, you control your path. Your path does not control you. Do you see? Does that make sense? Yes, there is a projected path. Yes, there is a projected timeline. It does not control you. Okay? You control it. It's called free will. Okay? That's why, like, if you deviate and you decide to go down the path of narcissism, I mean, that in itself is another timeline that you chose. Do you see? You choose your path. You choose which way to go. Okay? It's all about following your inner guidance, though. Okay? Does that make sense? I want to make sure that, it's not confusing. That's why I've got to work on this, because I feel like it's just coming out as masculine energy, fourth ray of harmony. So yeah, a lot of them, I'm telling you, their intuitions are opening up, and what's happening with that is it's opening up the heart chakra, and a lot of them are having a really hard time dealing with that sort of thing, right? They're going through transitions, transformations, and this in itself is scary, and some of them are starting to realize the multifacetedness of themselves. They're starting to realize just how many faces they have worn throughout their entire lives that aren't actually them. It's like some of them are coming to the realization nobody knows who they are. No one sees them for who they are. And it's gotten to the point where even they couldn't see who they truly were for a long time. Okay? And some of them are going through that transition right now. They're realizing that. And that's major ego death too. Okay? And some of them are also starting to realize that the only one who ever did see them for themselves was their feminine. Okay? Who they ran from. Because she showed them, the feminine energy showed the masculine energy themselves in its rawest form. And it scared them, so they ran. Alright, so, connecting energy manifestation, Knight of Cups in reverse. See, that's it right there. And I know I've been talking about this. This has actually been coming up with the connecting energies for a while. Okay, with the manifestation. We are constantly manifesting, guys. Constantly. It's all about the energy that you put out, though. If you put out the good energy, you get the good thing, whatever you want to define that as, right? The positive, and then, if you manifest, or if you put out the negative, you're going to get negative, right? Some of us are sitting here in manifestation, but it's like we don't have our clear intentions. We don't have our intentions set. What is your intention? Ask yourself that. If you're not manifesting, it's because you probably haven't set the intention yet. You don't know what you want. You don't know what you want. What is your heart's desire? Not even just talking about the connection or union with your twin. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about you. What is your desire? What is your heart's desire? Do you know? Set your intention. Set your intention. Okay? Feminine to masculine. Some of you are coming to terms with some things that you may have done, may have said, that weren't necessarily true to your counterpart. Feminine. And masculine to feminine, yeah. Well, yeah. Let love be your beacon. That's it right here. And see the Knight of Cups. Knight of Cups in reverse. Okay, so yeah, some of you have forgotten that that's what it means. That's what this is. Okay, the positive energy, the love energy. Okay, embodying that energy. That's how you manifest. That's how you get through your journey. That's how you change your energy and change your perspective on things. Right? Let love be your beacon. Love, be love. You are love. Okay? You are the beacon. Does that make sense? Alright guys, I hope this has helped. If it has, please like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.